Hey guys, I'm Mars, and we're talking about the Gravity Project, and this one's going to be some round 10 SM stuff, and I was going to make it about a few things. I was going to talk about AF3 and all that, but I'm actually just going to make the focal point of this video one thing, and it's going to be, I guess, talking about Obsidian Chill's video. So Obsidian Chill made a video recently it was a roast video, and there was a few people involved in the video. Like, there were a few people who were the subject of the video, but it's fair to say that I probably took the most heat. So, I mean, first and foremost, I want to say, for what it's worth, as harsh as that video was, for as as hurtful as it could have been, I do respect the video and Obsidian Chill. Like, I get the function of the video. Like, I did something very similar when Ventus did the whole thing a while back. It was like a rage powered mechanic video, and I made a video that was, for what it's worth, practically the same thing, and it was just like a warning saying that you should be careful who you listen to and do, you know, a good amount of research before you take everyone's advice. And I mentioned in that video then that people make mistakes, and I would in the future, and always, you know, have throughout my life. I mean, I'm 19 years old, always made mistakes, you know. It's just part of living. So, all that being said, no hard feelings. Like, I get the video. It was a loaded video in the manner that contextually some of the things what he was saying based off the pretenses that were given was correct, but like having the whole picture, it kind of makes it different. So I guess I'll dispute for both sides and just give some background if you haven't seen the video already, and just give my thoughts and opinions. So there was a series of subjects and videos that he brought up regarding me in particular. I guess I'll just kind of go in order. Alright, one of the things she brought up was like ice. I did an ice tanking video, and I guess one of the main points he was saying was that it was dumb that I was using Mesmerizing Lasso over Frost Knight. And for what it's worth, they have the same exact function. They're both taunts. They're both strong taunts. And the only difference is that, you know, Frost Knight has the capacity or the ability to root your target, and Mesmerizing Lasso is an additional pull and a stun. So, I mean, really, like, the main function of each is the taunt, and, like, you know, the subsidiary functions, in my opinion, aren't as serious, but I generally prefer to pull the target toward me than have it rooted or encased away from me. Not that it makes a big difference, because they're taunted and they will come to you regardless, but it's just, you know, for the sake of having all of your opponents near you, I prefer Lasso. So, you know, I feel like it's more of a preference thing, but, you know, neither here nor there. Another thing he talked about was me having Winter Ward in there instead of Shadow Restraints, but Shadow Restraints was in the loadout, so I don't know. Yeah, that's that. Then he talked about Rage. So I had a Rage tanking loadout that he was saying was poorly constructed, blah blah blah. And I think I actually went through and read the comments, and somebody, I don't know who the person was, but they kind of argued for me. I feel like the points that were made were fair. He was basically saying that the loadout would have been a perfectly good loadout to use, given that the person knew how to tank. And what Obsidian said was also true. He said, that is fair, that is true, but that's not my target audience. And that's correct. I generally make these guides for people who aren't experts already. I mean, that's obvious. That's why you make a guide in the first place. The people who know what they're doing probably aren't watching the videos unless they're watching them for entertainment. So, yeah, I mean, the loadout definitely would work, but not given that you don't know what you're doing. So the loadout only had 2 breakouts, and I didn't explain that, you know, you can go purchase a breakout trinket, and other little nuances of the tanking loadout made it probably more difficult than it would have been for somebody who doesn't understand the Rage Crash mechanic. He pointed out that there was some things that, you know, some nuances that I didn't know regarding just stats in general and how certain things work. So he was talking about how I spec'd crit healing and crit magnitude in the Iconics power tree. And yeah, he's definitely right there. That was just like me not knowing that had no effect on your rage heals. So that was that, you know, just basic mess up. I guess going into that, he talked about me using precision debuffs, or any troll, I guess, in general, using a precision debuff in their loadout being kind of a waste of time, given that they only mitigate 7% of damage, and 7% is a marginal number. Like, stopping 7% of incoming damage probably won't save your life in most instances. May it once or twice, yeah, but for what it's worth, you could probably throw something else in there that may be more beneficial. I don't know, it's like there's not a plethora of viable moves for any power at this given moment, with AMs and stuff. It's like most of these precision debuffs are fair stuns anyway, but I get what he was saying there. Definitely like a marginal number. The deviation of damage that you're going to get from that is not enough to save your life in any scenario. So that's that. What else? He talked about Celestial. I had a Celestial healing video where I had Guardian's Light in the loadout at one point. And he's basically saying, obviously, if you're a Celestial heal, you're terrible if you use any long cast time heal. I think at that time that I posted it, I was using Guardian's Light in PBR, in which the first boss, there's like electrical turrets that do a pretty hefty dot. And so I found that in that scenario, Guardian's Light was a very viable heal, just for the sake that it helped you keep a lot of heals out at one time. And while Consecrated Ground is good, it's like, it's not a heal, it's a group shield. So, I mean, do both work in the scenario? Yeah, I was kind of just playing around with it. And I did, at the end of the video, say you could use Consecrated Ground, and then I didn't explain as thoroughly as one might have wanted, which I guess may have been his point. I don't know, he didn't mention me using Consecrated Ground at all, so maybe he didn't finish the video. But I basically put Consecrated Ground in the load at the end of the video to show that it's a viable option. And I looked at the floor and, spawned it on myself to show that you can spawn it on yourself in the group. And then I looked at the target and spawned it on the target to show that you can target the boss or whoever and spawn it on your tank. So that was that. That was Celestial Heal. And then I guess the main points, this is the stuff that I feel like he was definitely right about, was I did a gadgets loadout a couple months ago now, actually. And I guess he must have saved the video because he was actually the first person to point out that it was a really bad loadout, and it was just like one of those things where I was trying to be original and cool, and I just like got carried away and made it like a god awful loadout. And so he was like, yeah, this is really bad, and I was like, oh man, you're right. So I took it down same day, like as soon as he commented, and I made a video that was like the cookie cutter basic gadgets loadout, and I apologized to everybody and explained that like gadgets is definitely not my original power set. It's not at all within my realm of expertise. And I gave the basic loadout that works and explained what's what, and that was that. So I guess like when that happened, he saved the video, which means that either this was very premeditated or that was just really funny to him. But either way, neither here nor there. And last but not least, is probably the most recent thing, and probably the thing that triggered him, quote unquote, was I did a fire tank loadout. Not fire tank, fire DPS, sorry. So the loadout, I was given the loadout by a couple of people actually. Sorry for the background noise, I'm in college, I have sweet mates in and out. But yeah, so I was given the loadout by a few different people, and apparently, I guess after I posted the video, I was like notified that I was using the loadout in the wrong order. So the problem with the loadout is that there's Stoke Flames and Burning Determination, both in the loadout, and they're the same dot. They cancel each other out. But supposedly, I haven't tested this, and I guess I should, and then I'll repost it given that it's accurate. Supposedly, if you use them in a different order, the dots don't cancel each other and they actually stack, which may be some kind of exploit. I'm not positive, but basically, Obsidian Chill and other people were in the comments telling me that for what it's worth, like that dot is just a waste of power if you're going to use both of them. And, you should be using different moves. So, in a nutshell, that's basically the video and what happened, what's disputable, what's right, what's wrong. Like I said, there's definitely a lot of fault in my videos. Like, obviously, he wouldn't have made the video if I was correct all the time. So, sorry for that, guys. If you haven't seen the video already and you'd like to just know what I'm talking about, it's on Obsidian Chill's channel. I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with it. So just head over to his channel. It's like a 25-minute video. It's his most recent video. And just watch it. Figure out all the little stuff. I mean, for what it's worth, there's actually some really good information in there. Like I said, there's little things I didn't know in terms of like numbers and all that. So, if nothing else, it's a good learning experience for everybody. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So, next video, I'll probably talk about some Amazon Fury Part 3. They did that live stream, and there's some pretty interesting stuff going on. I feel like a couple of things could potentially go left if not handled properly, but that's pretty much it for this one, guys. I'm Mars Noob Sapa with the Gravity Project. Thanks so much for watching. Like, comment, rate, and subscribe, and I will see you all next time.